We are recording.
Perfect.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. This is our first ever North Texas CMRP event, and we are going to be kicking it off with Mike's going to be introducing. And our hope is from the end of this is to have just a little bit, telling a little bit about ourselves, what we're looking to offer, and to try to gain some insight and some memberships into it. So go ahead, Mike.
Great. Thank you. I'm Micah Swinney, and welcome to our inaugural meeting for the North Texas chapter of Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals. Today, we are meeting to introduce us and introduce the chapter itself, as well as have the attendees introduce themselves to the chapter. Um, Today, we are going to talk a little bit about our organization, talk a little bit about SMRP, and then go into a presentation by our keynote speaker, who you've just met, which is Aaron Schultz. So we'll get started with that.
All right.
So you're probably asking yourselves, or some of you may be familiar with Society for Manufacturing and Maintenance Professionals, but the Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals is an organization of 7,000 individuals throughout the world. We cover across 60 countries, and we were established in 1992. And many of the organizations are supported by local chapters, of which North Texas is a new one. We've been starting the organization over the last few months, and today is our introduction to the society as a whole. When we say North Texas, we're talking about the DFW area, as well as uh, Oklahoma and Arkansas, who are certainly big in this industry. But they don't have their own home chapter, but we would like them to consider North Texas their home. Um, the organization itself is really structured upon 5 pillars of maintenance and reliability. And that is the first one, business management. Although maintenance reliability can in itself be its own organization and its own service function. Many organizations consider it to be a support organization so that they can produce their core product, which with most manufacturing firms. We want to make sure that we align the business function, the maintenance reliability function with the business function of an organization. We want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of manufacturing process reliability so that we can produce the right amount of product at the right quality, at the right rate to meet our customer demands. We want to make sure that we have equipment reliability. That's based upon failure modes and effects analysis, criticality rankings, and making sure that we're doing the right things to make sure that our equipment is reliable for us. And as most of the people within this area of work, they understand that is a struggle, and the struggle is real. We also have the organization leadership. Certainly, the maintenance reliability organization leadership is a portion of an overall organization for a manufacturing firm, but is a very specific one. And we want to make sure that we're leading correctly and make sure that we meet the needs of our organization. And finally, the last pillar would be the pillar of work management, making sure that we're doing the right things at the right time so that we get the expected outcomes and make sure that our equipment is running the way we expect it to. These are the 5 core areas. So you're asking yourselves, why should we join an organization such as SMRP, as well as why would we want to join the North Texas chapter? Well, there's a reason for that. We have a mission. We want to make sure that we have the SMRP has 2 areas of certifications they offer. One is the CMRP, which is a certified maintenance reliability professional that anyone can apply for, as well as the CMRT, the certified maintenance reliability technician. Those are the people that are actually doing the work on equipment, and those are the hands-on people. So we have the organization as a whole verifies that people have those skills through certification and recertification. We also allow for networking. That, oftentimes people will be out there in the business world and not necessarily fit into just their organization. They want to make sure they're working with people that are also pushing maintenance and reliability in the right ways throughout the world. In today's time and age, we know that there are certainly new developments on a regular basis, if not weekly, certainly monthly, where we want to make sure that we get that information out there so that people can address maintenance and reliability concerns with the latest and greatest technologies that are out there. And lastly, we have the organization as a whole is philanthropy. We offer scholarships for students that wish to enter the field of maintenance and reliability, as well as provide training for people so they can become certified and recertified within the SMRP so they can become either CMRPs and CMRTs. Those are all the things that you would get as you join this organization. And once again, we just talked a little bit about that. We want to make sure that we connect. This is, the maintenance and reliability, although we all work with different companies in different areas, we all have a similar understanding of what maintenance reliability is. We want to make sure that we're doing it properly, and we want to make sure that we're sharing that information and growing within our brethren to make sure that they're able to use the latest and greatest technologies to affect their businesses. We want to develop so that we have the certification and become some of the thought leaders within the maintenance reliability world. Many people have done that. And then lastly, we want to make sure that we give back. We want to make sure that we're donating to those who have a need to gather this information and perhaps enter this as their field of expertise throughout their careers. And last, this was just a quick introduction to what CMRP, SMRP is. And today we're going to have a short presentation from a keynote speaker who is Aaron Schultz, also known as A.W. Schultz. Aaron is an author. He is a thought leader within maintenance reliability. Aaron has worked across the world promoting maintenance reliability, and he's going to share some of the things that he's seeing in the maintenance reliability area today. And the pillar that we're going to speak directly to today is organization and leadership. That is one of the core pillars, and that is the one we're going to speak about today. And having said that, I'd like to introduce Aaron, and here he is. Aaron is local to the DFW area, and we'll go from there. Thank you for your time.
All right. Well, thanks for that introduction, Mike. And just kind of giving everyone a glimpse of what the SMRP North Texas chapter is about and what we're trying to bring together. So as we were trying to understand what are we going to do for our kickoff, what we want to talk about, what is SMRP members interested, and as the board, we were going back and forth, and Mike was one of the early adapters saying, we got to talk about organizational leadership. That is one of the cores or the important ones. That's where a lot of industries struggle with that. So what we had put together is not so much of what goes into organizational leadership, but what is driving some of this. And we've put together some interesting statistics that we wanted to share with you on what goes into what is the core of organizational leadership, but why is important and what's driving it. So this presentation is just kind of hopefully it's not a new to you. If you are an SMRP have certification or belong to a chapter or as a member, you will understand some of these terms. But what you might not be, or what you might be surprised is what is some of the data and supporting it, why SMRP feels these are important. So beginning with it, if you think about strategic asset management leadership, that's a long phrase, but when you're talking about it, it's talking about do you have a vision and a goal settings? And if you look at the bottom of this screen, you can see where we're referencing these sources at. But what's interesting to know about it is that companies or industries that believe in this and have that see a 78% of higher performance maintenance throughout what they've defined as leadership driven goals. They've got goals, they understand those goals. So if any of you have understanding in your own organization, I challenge you to go back and understand what those goals are and what the visions are. And do they align with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? And feel free in the chat to add some of those notes into what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve throughout that. Another one is organizations with strategic asset management plans show a 23% higher equipment reliability. To me, that's kind of it's not surprising, but it's interesting to know that companies that follow their goal, follow their vision, they see 23% more equipment reliability, which to me is no surprise. Think about resource allocation and budgeting. So if you look at organizations that some of you may be part of or have been part of companies that they're struggling, they're in the reactive mode. This statistics is showing is that companies with leader supported preventive maintenance programs, so they have a program, they're actively involved in the program, they recognize the program, they're trying to always improve the program, they show 50% less emergency repairs. And anybody knows emergency repairs are expensive. And it's no surprise that this also leads to an overall reduction of maintenance costs about 12 to 18% annually. So the next area is about building high performance maintenance teams. And this is understanding teams that have existence have shown they've got a 34% reduction in mean time to repair. And a lot of this is driven to they know to invest in their people. They've got technicians that go through trainings and taking those that have the trainings and companies that don't have the trainings, they've seen quite a bit of improvement on what they see as repairs. Another stat is 82% of successful maintenance departments have structured mentorship programs. Now, I don't know about you. I have not been part of programs that have mentorships, especially within the maintenance communities, but I see the value in it. And, even if companies don't even offer mentorship, individuals, there's nothing to stop you from finding mentors. Communication, communication, communication. This is the idea of how do you communicate? And teams with effective leadership communication channels report 45% fewer safety incidents. Now, it's easy to say communication is easy, but understanding what are the different tiers or levels of communication that exist out there. Are they having some morning meetings? Are they having their toolbox conversation? Do they have information shared out within the organizations to understand what are their metrics and what they're trying to drive? Certainly, if the organization has got goals and values, are they posted somewhere? Are they talked about at a regular basis so we know what we're trying to achieve? Also, think about cross-functional teams. Skilled managers, they show a 28% higher productivity rates between what we would see as a developing or less mature organization. And this itself comes straight out of the Society of Maintenance and Reliability Professionals. So talk about risk management and compliance. In this part, we're talking about safety. Strong safety leadership corresponds to 67 fewer workplace accidents. And to me, that's pretty staggering. It's saying that we've got processes, we've got individuals in place. They talk about safety. And when you talk about safety, uh, we tend to want to make it better. Organizations with integrated safety maintenance programs have 40% lower injury rates. So you're tying it all together. You got a visions and a goals. You got cross-functional teams. You're talking about it, the communication. It's no surprise that safety leadership plays a part in it, and it shows a positive reaction to it. So when you got risk management, you also have regulatory compliances. Um, those companies that are doing ISO, leadership-driven compliance programs, reduce their audits are finding they've got 50% reduction in what was being found. 89% successful maintenance organization, leadership supported documentation systems. They're utilizing their CMMS. They're building on top of their ERP systems and trying to drive what they're trying to achieve their goals. And in a lot of cases, it's successful. And there's no surprise that these numbers are being driven to it. But when you talk about organizational leadership, there's different tiers that we talk about within the pillars. So the technology, the digital transformation, Industry 4.0, leadership supporting technology is, you get the technology out there and they show a 29% improvement of maintenance efficiencies. And to me, that's talking about, increased wrench time, the mean time to repair, less breakdowns. And it's all driven to they've got the technology out there. They're using it. They're using it and embracing it. 65% of maintenance leaders support Internet of Things implementation. So, cloud computing, um, digitalization, sensors, robotics, cobots, all that good stuff. And you think about data-driven decision making. So we all heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out. But this is saying when we are able and feel comfortable in the decisions of the data that we have out there, we see a 31% reduction in downtime because we know we're working on the right things. And also, companies with the data-driven maintenance strategies achieve around 17% higher overall equipment efficiencies. 17%. Now, who wouldn't want that? So think about a continuous improvement culture. We're tying it all together, and we've got some different metrics we have out there. Organizations with leadership aligned KPIs show a 25% higher maintenance effectiveness. Now, we can all argue what are good KPIs, what are good metrics. But when you're constantly trying to tweak it and make it better, it shows that mature companies are paving the way for overall efficiencies. Having regular performance reviews led by management improve the efficiencies by 22%. People know where their goals are. They know what their visions are. They're working on the right stuff. And you think about change management. So you're always communicating it out, but successful change initiatives are almost 6 times more likely to succeed when you have strong leadership support. You've got sponsorship. You include the stakeholders. And organizations with leadership-driven improvements programs achieve 15% higher asset reliability. So some of the keys to take away from this on is that leadership impact the overall performance. Organizations with strong maintenance leadership see 25% higher employee retention, 27% higher employee retention. People are engaged in the work. People want to stay where they're working. Effective leaders maintain a department leads 34% reduction in emergency work orders. Imagine coming to work and knowing what you're going to be doing each day versus waiting until the reaction mode. Companies with integrated leadership show 41% better maintenance budget adherence. So imagine having a budget and you're complying to it. You know where their money's at, you know where it's going, and it just leads to a more coherent organization and better overall. And maintenance leadership teams are engaged, reporting 38% higher job satisfaction. They enjoy their work. They enjoy coming to work. They enjoy the people they work with. And organizations with a clear leadership success plan almost 2.5 times more likely to achieve reliability goals. So as I bring this to a close, I want to bring you to what I call a little bit of a story. So if you think about organizational leadership, and this is a bit of a joke, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. Put it in the chat. A maintenance supervisor, a reliable engineer, and a plant manager walk into a bar. The bartender asks, "What's wrong?" The maintenance supervisor says, "The draft beer system is leaking." Well, the reliability engineer says, based on my calculation, there's an 87.3% chance it's a gasket failure. The plant manager says, well, have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? The bartender replies, actually, we just need to replace the keg. The maintenance supervisor turns to the plant manager and says, see, this is exactly what happens when you wait until something runs completely empty before approving replacements. Has anybody ever had that happen? So this joke plays a common theme in maintenance reliability leadership. One, the external struggles of preventive maintenance, um, the theoretical analysis and practical solutions. So thinking about overthinking it, and the difference between levels of organizational leadership. Sometimes the best way to deal with daily challenges of maintenance leadership is to find humor in them. So I'm sharing that story with you. And today the board and I, the North Texas CMRP chapter, wanted to put this together and offer it out to you, a little bit of education. And certainly we're going to be sharing this presentation out. And hope if you have questions, you can reach out to us. Just a couple things that are coming down the pipeline for us is very soon we're going to have our own website up, and it's cmrpnorthtexas.org. Our next event we're looking for is planning in May 2025. And right now we're trying to generate ideas of what was everyone interested in, what they want to talk about. But also circle around your calendar. This year, the annual conference for SMRP will be in the DFW area, October 6th through 9th. I also put out there, if you're looking for recertification, please take this course and remember it when you're doing your recertifications every so often years. This is an educational. It's part of what we need to do as far as our certification to into the SMRP program. I've also included our board members' email and our LinkedIn's. Please reach out to us. We're always willing to connect and share any thoughts that might be out there. Earlier in the presentation, Mike had mentioned that we also offer trainings and the helps with scholarships toward getting your SMRP. If you're interested in learning more, please reach out to us, and we'll be eager to help or direct you in the right dimensions. As we said, this is a brand new chapter. This is our first presentation, and we're looking to build onto it more. And we thank you for attending. As we close out there, Mike, any last thoughts you want to put out there before we say goodbye?
No, I just wanted to say, welcome aboard, everybody. This is an introduction for us to introduce ourselves to you, as well as you to get to understanding of what's out there and we can offer. We would like to develop this community so that we can all learn from one another and grow within our practices. As I said, it's an exciting time within the maintenance reliability area. Technology has helped us grow, and it will continue to help us grow. And let's face it, we don't all get exposed to the latest and greatest inventions in our current roles, and it would help the community grow as a whole if we could share those experiences and grow upon them. And that's really what this is about. It's about people having the same passion and knowledge around the area of maintenance reliability, sharing it within the North Texas community, so that we can grow as individuals and become better at what we do, because we all aspire to do this and do this well.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and look for us in the future for new events and things that are going on. And please reach out if you're interested in becoming part of our chapter, because we'd be happy to have you. Goodbye.
Take care. Have a great day.